Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. We are going to start a new chapter in your first book, and this is your chapter number 7 according to the revised syllabus. In your book, it is chapter number 8 because we have seen that one chapter is not there, it is deleted. So it's chapter 7, environment and natural resources. Okay, so these topics like environment and resources, these are the topics of geography as we know. But here in international politics, we have this chapter on environment and natural resources. So the question is why the topics of geography are being studied in political science, that too in international politics, world politics. Why are we studying the the topics of geography in international politics? This is a very important question. In order to understand this answer, then in order to get answer to this question, what we find that first of all we should pay attention on some of the issues of environment, some of the issues of the resources. First of all, we will discuss some relevant issues like one of such issue is that in the world, it's a fact that in the world, throughout the world, it is happening that the cultivable area is not expanding anymore. Not only this, that the cultivable area is not expanding, but the another problem is that a very big portion of existing agricultural land is losing its fertility. The land is getting degraded. So this is the problem the humans are facing at present. Greenlands, grasslands are they are being overgrazed, by the animals, and water bodies are depleting. They are getting polluted, and all these are causing problems in the life of human being. Okay, so this is a very relevant problem of the present time. Next, we can understand the fact like in this human development report, which is presented by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. In this we have discussed about this many times. UNDP every year it publishes its report, HDR, Human Development Report, and in this report of the year 2016, it is given that in the whole world 663 million people, 600 663 million people in developing countries, they don't have access to safe water. And not only this, 2.4 billion people have no access to sanitation. 2.4 billion, है ना? तो यहाँ ये these are the problems we are seeing that the people are facing, and these problems of not non-accessibility to safe water, and no access to sanitation, these are causing deaths. Because of these, more than 3 million children are dying every year. So this is one of the another problem which the people are facing. Then we see that there is a problem of deforestation. The forests are very much important for us. They play a very important role in the water cycle. But because of rising population, our needs are increasing day by day, and the people want to lead a very luxurious life, so our needs have increased manifold, and so in order to satisfy our need, so many trees are cut down, which is called deforestation. Deforestation is going on, and this is causing so many problems, because the forests are very much important for maintenance of the stabilization of the climate. It stabilizes the climate. We are facing the problem of climate change. Why? Because of one of the most important reason is deforestation, and they also help in this way. When they stabilize climate, they help in the water cycle. Actually, they help in the maintenance of water level अंडरग्राउंड वाटर लेवल को भी मेंटेन करते हैं, और साथ ही साथ जो डाइवर्सिटी है, बायोडाइवर्सिटी हमारे अर्थ पे है, उसको भी वो हेल्प करते हैं मेंटेन करने में. लेकिन इतना सब कुछ करने के बावजूद पीपल आर कटिंग दीज फॉरेस्ट. एंड one more problem is associated with this deforestation, because we know there are such communities who lives in forest only. We call them tribals, the original people, the indigenous people. So these tribals are also facing lot of problem because of deforestation. Whenever there is deforestation, that causes displacement of these communities, isn't it? अगर फॉरेस्ट कटेंगे तो उस फॉरेस्ट में जो रहने वाले कम्युनिटीज़ हैं उनको डिस्प्लेस किया जाता है. सो दिस इज़ द situation, the problem we are facing. Then we see that there is steady decline in the total amount of ozone in the earth stratosphere. जो एटमॉस्फेयर के डिफरेंट लेवल्स होते हैं, लेयर्स होते हैं, उसमें हमने यू मस्ट बी रिमेम्बरिंग, आपने प्रीवियस क्लासेस में ये सारी चीज़ें पढ़ी हैं. सबसे पहले ट्रोपोस्फेयर होता है एंड देन स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर. तो स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर में क्या हो गया है, ओजोन होल हो गया है. क्यों हो गया है? बिकॉज जो ओजोन का जो उसमें डिप्लीशन हो गया, बहुत कम हो गई है ओजोन, है ना. तो ओजोन की कमी से ओजोन का डिप्लीशन हो रहा है, दैट इज नोन एज ओजोन होल, एंड दिस इज कॉजिंग a great threat to the life of the human being, because ओजोन होल से क्या होता है, स्किन कैंसर की प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज़्यादा जो उसकी पॉसिबिलिटी है वो बढ़ जाती है अगर इस तरह की सिचुएशंस प्रिवेल करते हैं तो. देन नेक्स्ट हम देखेंगे कि कोस्टल एरियाज हैं वहाँ पे भी पॉल्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है ना. अगर कोस्टल एरिया के आगे ओपन सी को हम देखें तो ओपन सी इज रिलेटिवली क्लीन, है ना. एंड द कोस्टल वाटर is not clean. It is becoming increasingly polluted. Why? Because of human activity. Coastal areas are near to human settlement, and that is the reason these coastal areas are getting polluted, and we see that this is leading to the deterioration in the quality of marine environment. If the coastal pollution is going on, this coastal pollution will lead to the open sea pollution also, and this will affect the life of the marine animals, aquatic animals. So these are the various type of problems which are related to our environment, isn't it? And what we find that these issues which we have discussed right now, these issues are the topics of geography, but we are discussing this topic of geography in the class of political science, the classes of political science, but we are talking about the issues, the topics of the subject geography. So what is the connection between these two? How and why we are talking about geographic topics of geography? Because first of all, you must understand that government is responsible for making the life of the people good. It is the responsibility of the government that whatever problems people are facing, they should be resolved. It is the sole responsibility of the government. So if the people are facing these problems, like if they are not having the access to safe drinking water, if they are not having the access to sanitation, if land is getting degraded, if we see that this deforestation is going on, people are the original people, the indigenous people are getting displaced, and ozone layer is depleting, and because of all these, who are at the center of all these problems, who are going to face the consequences of all these problems? These are the people. We the people are going to be badly affected by all these environmental issues. So it is the responsibility of the government to take actions, to take steps to resolve these environmental issues, because the government is ultimately responsible for making our life better, isn't it? So in this way, first of all, in this way we can say that politics is related to these topics, because it is the responsibility of the government कि किस तरह से चीज़ों को सही किया जाए. But here one more thing is there, that there are such issues which we have discussed just now. There are many such issues which cannot be solved by a single government. It is not possible for a single government to solve the problem on its own, because these are such problems which are global in nature. It is not limited to a particular country or region, but they are global in nature. Like we have talked about ozone layer depletion. So it is such a problem which cannot be solved by the efforts of a single government. For that, what is required? For that, it is required that the countries should come together. They should cooperate with each other in order to solve all these problems. So in this way, because problems, environmental problems are such problems which cannot be solved by a single country, because we all are connected to each other. Our environment is connected to each other. You cannot make boundaries for the air. You cannot make boundaries for the rivers, isn't it? You cannot make boundaries for the oceans. So the environment is one. We all are part of this earth, and all our lives are connected to each other. So if the problem is there in our environment, then that problem is not a problem of a single country, but that is the problem of the whole world. And in order to solve that problem, there is need to cooperate between there is need of cooperation between the countries. Okay, so now this is for that purpose we are studying these topics in the international politics, है ना, क्योंकि ये different governments मिलके इसके लिए effort करती हैं. Okay, now one more thing is there. If we are talking about these problems and we are saying that in order to solve these problems there is need of cooperation among the member countries, then one more question arises that why this environmental degradation, how this environmental degradation took place, who causes environmental degradation, and who are paying the price, and who is responsible for taking corrective actions, who gets to use how much of the natural resources of the earth. These are the questions, these are the issues. Actually, they are connected with the game of power, which is there in the international politics. The country who wields more power is using more and more natural resources of the earth. The country who is who are developed, they are responsible for their larger part in the contribution, and they are the countries who are developed countries. They have actually played a very important role in the degradation of the environment. So all these issues are related to international politics. Okay, so we have come to understand why the topics of geography are being studied in the international politics. Okay, now what we find that in traditional political science there was no such issue. These are the concept of modern time, especially after 1960s onwards. The environmental issues became very much important in the international area now, and we find that Club of Rome, it was a global think tank. It published a book in the year 1972, and the name of the book was Limits to Growth. So first time the whole world, the focus of the whole world was drawn towards these problems, the environmental problems. So the organization was the name of the organization was the Club of Rome. Okay. And it published the book. The name of the book is Limits to Growth. And the year in which it was published was 1972. You can understand how this book is dealing with the environmental issues. From the title itself, it is clear: limits to growth. We are growing. The countries are developing economically, but because of this development, some problems are caused. These are the limitations of growth. Growth to hua, but this growth has caused some limitations, and these are the limitations. What are the limitations? The limitations are environmental. How the environmental degradation took place. So in this way we see that this Club of Rome, from the effort of this Club of Rome, the focus of the world attention was drawn towards the problem of environment, and it started all in the decade of 1960. Okay. Besides, there are some international organizations, international agencies like United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, United Nations UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program. This UN agency has started holding international conferences in order to create awareness among the member countries to take efforts, to take steps so that environmental degradation can be checked, and it also promoted study in order to get a more coordinated and effective response to environmental problems, how to solve these environmental problems. So in order to solve the problems, there was need to study. So this organization, this agency also promoted detailed studies. Okay, so from these efforts, what we find that the environment has emerged as a significant issue of global politics. Nowadays, environment is it's a very important element in the global politics, and in this direction, the most important event, first time the most important event which took place was in the year 1992, and it was United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. Okay, this conference was held in Rio de Janeiro. Okay, in 1992, this was held, the conference on environment and development. एंड ये कॉन्फ्रेंस किसका था? ये कॉन्फ्रेंस यूनाइटेड नेशंस का था. तो इसमें आपको यूनाइटेड नेशंस, नॉट यूएन, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. It was held in the year 1992. इतने बड़े लेवल पे, इस लेवल पे पहली बार एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज पे. It was for the first time that on such a large scale the conference was held on the environmental issue in the year 1992. And where it happened in Brazil. Brazil में जो रियो है, जिसको हम शॉर्ट में रियो भी कहते हैं, ये फुल जो इसका पूरा नाम है, इट इज़ रियो डी जेनेरो. It is in Brazil. Okay. This summit holds a very important place in world politics, and this summit was also known as Earth Summit. Okay. This is very, very important for you. And in this Earth Summit, we see that the 170 countries attended this summit, Earth Summit or United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. It was attended by 170 countries. Then thousands of NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, and many multinational corporations have also took part in this conference. Okay, and before 5 years before this conference, in the year 1987, what we find that one report was published. The report was Brundtland report, and this report was named as Our Common Future. Okay, so 1987 में जो ब्रंटलैंड रिपोर्ट आया उसके बारे में हम लोग अभी देखेंगे. Brundtland report. It was published in the year 1987. And what was the name of the report? The name of the report was Our Common Future. So, Our Common Future, the name itself denotes that the future of different countries are not different. We all are connected to each other. We all have same future. And here R is coming from the human being. So we are facing the same problems. We all are facing the same type of problems, same type of challenges, and we all are going to be in the same future. It will not be something like that only few will be affected and others will not be affected. Everyone will be affected. But it is also true that some part of the world will badly affected, while other parts will not be that badly affected. But with the time, every part will be in the same condition, है ना. शुरुआत में ये हो सकता है कि कुछ पार्ट्स पे ही ज़्यादा असर पड़े, लेकिन धीरे धीरे इसका जो इम्पैक्ट होगा वो पूरे वर्ल्ड पे एक जैसा होगा. And here you must know that it was in this report of Brundtland that we find that first time the word sustainable development was used. What do we mean by sustainable development? You must be knowing sustainable development ऐसा होना चाहिए. Development should be such that it should sustain. We should not think or we should not focus only on the needs of the present generation. Yes, it is important to meet the needs of the present generation, but it is also equally important that we must conserve the resources for the future generation. This is sustainable development, and this term was first used in this report only, and now even today it's a very very relevant word, because our focus is not that only the present generations, the needs of the present generations would be fulfilled, but it is equally important that we must think about, we must take steps to fulfill the needs of the future generation, because the resources which we are using from our environment, the resources which we are using from the nature is actually not the resources which we get from our ancestors. It's not something which we get from our ancestors, but it is something which we get, which we get from our future generation as a loan. हमने उधार में लिया है उनसे. हमारे आगे आने वाली जनरेशन से. So when we have taken something as a loan from our future generation, it is our responsibility to repay that loan, है ना. तो repayment जो हम करेंगे, तो अगर किसी से जिस चीज़ को भी हमने लोन लिया है उसको जब उसको वापस करते हैं तो उसको उसी कंडीशन में होना चाहिए. सो इट इज़ आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी to preserve, to conserve the natural resources. Okay, so in this way we find that so many efforts started from 1960 onwards towards the environmental issues, and nowadays it is one of the most important element in the world politics. We will continue with this discussion in the next class.